Ninja here, and I'm glad to be back, finally! Gengar's here! Gengar is taking over channel! And now for a scary story!
The idea of this story comes from a good friend that I had, Frisky Biscuit. She closes her journal, puts her pencil down, and looks around her room, afraid to go to school again, afraid because she knows she's going to be watched. She's going to be teased and mocked and made fun of once again. She's the smartest girl in her class, the best student that there is. She knows that she'll get a good job one day, but she also feels that she's being watched at school constantly all the time, and that she's being followed home, stalked by the popular girl in school. She's never seen the most popular girl in school, but she knows that she's out to get her. The most popular girl in school had yet another horrible test failure, but it didn't matter to her. She was extraordinarily popular. All her friends hang on her every word and loved her and would follow her and do just anything she asked. Out of curiosity, she even had a boy punch himself one time. She was immensely popular. There's nothing that even the girls fell over themselves to do things for her, and she knew that she could get any boy in school to date her, or indeed any girl if she wanted to. And her control over people was like nothing else. The feeling of power that she had. Yet she had one weakness. She was quite jealous of the smartest kid that was in school. And she had never met this girl, but she was well aware of the girl's test scores. But she also was a bit afraid of her. She thought that this girl was constantly looking at her, watching her, maybe even following her around school. It's only when she went home that she felt secure, and it seemed that at home she was safe, but she could only really talk about and think about those times when she was at school. It was quite odd. The smart girl went home again that day, wrote again in her journal, "I think she's after me. I know they're all watching me, laughing at me, mocking me. Today they surrounded me and made fun of me. They're going to do it again tomorrow. I just know it. I passed another test. I dread going to school in the morning." The popular girl's day at school was filled with wonder and joy as everyone almost tripped over themselves to serve her and give her the best seat, the front of the line, the best food that they could, and to give her attention. As she got home, she was crying, the smart girl. She was saddened, for another day had passed where they'd mocked her and laughed at her, simply because she had passed the test. She wrote again in her journal that she knew they were going to get her. She was deathly afraid of school, but she had no choice but to go. That day the popular girl was not her usual cheerful self. She suspected strongly that the smart girl had it in for her. Perhaps today was the day of reckoning. So she became very determined. She was going to see where the smart girl lived, and tell her parents to keep her away from her. She went home, the smart girl. Looking behind her, she was being followed. The popular girl knew that she was being followed and started running. The smart girl got home, closed the door, and ran into her room, began to write furiously in her journal, "She's found me! She's found me!" The popular girl burst into the house. "I'm going to stop you once and for all," she proclaimed. The smart girl furiously wrote as much as she could in her journal. The popular girl opens her door. The two stare at each other. In a moment of time, stand still. Which one will prevail? The smart or the popular one? The two go at it, fist to face, pencil against head, chair against foot. The room is torn to bits as each one damages the other in horrible blow after horrible blow, cuts and blood and bruises and teeth flying. Screams of agony as each pulls the other hair down, sinking into unconsciousness. The smart girl grabs her diary and writes, "It was the popular girl that did this." Sinking into unconsciousness, the popular girl grabs the pencil and writes, "It was the smart girl that did this." As the pool of blood forms, the room is deathly quiet. She awakens in a cell lined with pads. She calls out, "Help! The popular girl! She did it!" The popular girl cries out, "Help! The smart girl! She did it! Get me out of here! She's in here with me! Get me out of here! She's in here with me!" The doctors shake their heads in frustration, lamenting that they do not know how to cure this very sick girl.
Kingar enjoys stories that make you wonder about your own sanity. Kingar will present more scary stories because Kingar is in control.